Section 6. The Four Noble Truths. The first noble truth, Dukkha. The heart of the Buddha's teaching lies in the Four Noble Truths, which he expounded in his very first sermon to his old colleagues, the five ascetics at Isipantana near Benares. In this sermon, as we have it in the original texts, these four truths are given briefly. The Four Noble Truths are 1. Dukkha, the noble truth of suffering. 2. Samudaya, the rising or origin of dukkha. 3. Nirodha, the cessation of dukkha. 4. Magga, the way leading to the cessation of dukkha. The first noble truth, Dukkha. The first noble truth is generally translated by almost all scholars as the noble truth of suffering, and it is interpreted to mean that life, according to Buddhism, is nothing but suffering and pain. Both translation and interpretation are highly unsatisfactory and misleading. It is because of this limited, free, and easy translation and its superficial interpretation that many people have been misled into regarding Buddhism as pessimistic. First of all, Buddhism is neither pessimistic nor optimistic. If anything at all, it is realistic, for it takes a realistic view of life and of the world. It looks at things objectively. It does not falsely lull you into living in a fool's paradise, nor does it frighten and agonize you with all kinds of imaginary fears and sins. It tells you exactly and objectively what you are and what the world around you is, and it shows you the way to perfect freedom, peace, tranquility, and happiness. One physician may gravely exaggerate an illness and give up hope altogether. Another may ignorantly declare that there is no illness and that no treatment is necessary, thus deceiving the patient with a false consolation. You may call the first one pessimistic and the second optimistic. Both are equally dangerous, but a third physician diagnoses the symptoms correctly, understands the cause and the nature of the illness, sees clearly that it can be cured, and courageously administers a course of treatment, thus saving his patient. The Buddha is like the last physician. He is the wise and scientific doctor for the ills of the world. Meaning of dukkha. It is true that the Pali word dukkha in ordinary usage means suffering, pain, sorrow, or misery, as opposed to the word sukha meaning happiness, comfort, or ease. But the term dukkha, as the first noble truth, which represents the Buddha's view of life and of the world, has a deeper philosophical meaning and connotates enormously wider senses. It is admitted that the term dukkha in the first noble truth contains quite obviously the ordinary meaning of suffering, but in addition, it also includes deeper ideas such as imperfection, impermanence, emptiness, insubstantiality. It is difficult, therefore, to find one word to embrace the whole conception of the term dukkha as the first noble truth, and so it is better to leave it untranslated than to give it an inadequate and wrong idea of it by conveniently translating it as suffering or pain. The Buddha does not deny happiness in life when he says there is suffering. On the contrary, he admits different forms of happiness, both material and spiritual, for laymen as well as for monks. In the Anguttara Nikaya, one of the 5 original collections in Pali containing the Buddha's discourses, there is a list of happinesses, such as the happiness of family life and the happiness of a life of a recluse, the happiness of sense pleasures, and the happiness of renunciation, the happiness of attachment and the happiness of detachment, physical happiness and mental happiness, etc. But all these are included in dukkha. Even the very pure spiritual states of dhyana, attained by the practice of higher meditation, free from even a shadow of suffering in the accepted sense of the word, which may be described as unmixed happinesses, as well as the state of dhyana, which is free from sensations both pleasant and unpleasant, and is only pure equanimity and awareness. Even these very high spiritual states are included in dukkha. In one of the suttas of the Majjhima Nikaya, after praising the spiritual happiness of these dhyanas, the Buddha says that they are impermanent, dukkha, and subject to change. Notice that the word dukkha is explicitly used. It is dukkha, not because there is suffering in the ordinary sense of the word, but because whatever is impermanent is dukkha.